everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be creating a pumpkin using two of these bowls and these ladles from Dollar Tree. I have a vision in my mind of what it's going to look like, and hopefully it works out. Okay, alright, so let's get started. I've already removed the label from here, and now I'll go ahead and remove the label from here, and let me give you the skew just in case you need it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is glue these two together, and this time around I'm going to use my Gorilla Clear Grip glue in the tube, and I'm just going to take some of the glue and squeeze it out and put it around here, all the way around the perimeter of the bowl. Okay, so now you want to line these up evenly. The decorative edges should match with the bottom. I'm going to let this dry for about an hour, and then we'll come back and move on. I let this dry for about an hour, but right after I turned the camera off, I took my hot knife, which we will be using this again in a minute, and I use it to make a hole right here. But I put the hole in right away because sometimes when you glue two containers together and there's no air circulating, the glue can cause cloudiness. Like all the way around here you would see a cloudy line, and I did not want that, so I went ahead and put that hole right there. Now, the next thing I want to do, my knife is still hot. I'm going to take one of my punch ladles. There's the skew. You will need 16 of these, okay? If you want to do it exactly the way that I do mine. I have this pink tape. I'm going to set this up higher. So I'm going to measure. What I want to do is just measure from here to the line. And I've done that already with one. So it's going to be like here. Just once you get it, just put it there and then you mark it, okay? So once you get your first one, you can take it, line it up like this. You put it right beside it, and you make sure it's even down here, and then you mark it. Take the next one. Just go ahead and mark them all, get them out the way. Line it up again. Lean it next to it, and mark it. Okay? Once you mark it, you take your hot knife, which really is a wood burning tool. You hold it and try and get your line as straight as possible. And you score it. Do the sides as well. Go again. Okay, now go on the back. On the back side, do the same thing. Take your time. Okay, once you score it, you can pop it just like that. So easy. Let's do it one more time. Pop it just like that. If you get a little piece, just take your knife and just cut that off. Right here I have all 16 pieces. So I'm going to use some alcohol and clean my red marker off and then come back. Okay guys, so I'm done cutting them all. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I have my hot glue gun. I have my Gorilla Glue. So what I want to do is take my strip. I'm going to put it right beside here because I don't want to cover that. So I'm going to take some of my Gorilla Glue and put it on both sides here, just like that. I'm leaving a space in the middle to put the hot glue. I'm going to press this right up against the line, just like so, until the hot glue sets up. Okay, I feel like I need to add some tape too, so let's go ahead and put some tape on there. Now I'm going to go directly across from there and do the same thing. Add some glue. Some hot glue right in the center. right across And make sure that the bottom lines up. Add a piece of tape. Now we go here. And you want this to go right in the center. Again, make sure it lines up with the line. Press it down. Add some tape. Go around on this side. Now right in the center. Alright, so like this handle, the glue is not resting right where I put it, so I guess you should try it first before you put the glue on there and see where it does attach. So I'm going to put some glue right up here where it's touching. Let's take the next one, pull this tape back, and let's see where it rests. Okay, so we need to put glue here. And like I said, I've never done this before. I'm just figuring this out as I go. So let's take another piece and put it up here. This is the final top piece. And line it up with the center where these two bowls meet. And let's see where it falls. So we'll need to put some glue here. And of course down here as well. Put the hot glue in the center. We're going to do the same thing with the bottom. It's going to be exactly the same. The only difference is the bottom won't have that hole that we put in the top of this one. Now I'm going to let this sit for about an hour. Then I'll come back and just kind of move around and see where I need to add some more glue. But yeah, this is what we have so far. This is the beginning of our pumpkin. Alright, so we'll let this sit for an hour and then come back. Okay guys, I'm back. And the glue has set up enough to where it's safe to flip over. So I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing that I did before. All right, so I have my hot glue gun, I have my Gorilla Glue, I have my tape, and I'm just gonna go ahead and line this up with one on the bottom here and see where it lands. So I think it needs glue here. Okay, so this is what it looks like when I put the little pieces on the top and the bottom. So it's starting to look more like a pumpkin, right? Okay, now I do have tape over some of this, so I don't have tape here. I have some of these rectangle rhinestones. And because of the gap, I'm going to close the gap with the rhinestones. So I'm going to take some hot glue and fill in that space, kind of overflow it, and then put my rhinestone right in the center to connect those two pieces. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. Just like that. So I'll continue to add the stones all the way around. Then I'm going to let this pumpkin sit for about 2 hours. Then we'll come back and move on to the next step. Next up, I have this plate, and here's the skew. I'm going to go ahead and remove the sticker. Now this is the smooth side. The design, you can actually feel it back here. And what I want to do with this is draw a couple of pumpkin leaves. And then I'm going to use my hot knife to cut them out. I think they're kind of like spades. Let's see. Something like that. Yeah. maybe one a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up my hot knife and then cut these out. Okay, so now my hot knife is ready to go. So I'm just going to go right inside my marker and cut this out slowly. Okay, so this is what this looks like. I might put some heat to it and add a slight little bend in it. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these two out as well and figure out which ones I want to use. Whether I want to use one or two. I'm not going to use all three. But I get 3 different sizes just so I can get the right look. So I'll do that and then come back. Okay guys, I'm back and here's my 3 leaves. I have this one, and this one. 3 different sizes. So what I want to do now is try to add a curve. And I'm trying to figure out if I want the texture or the smooth side to be exposed. I think I like the texture side because this is textured. So I'm going to take my heat gun, heat this up without burning my fingers, of course, and see if I can bend this a little bit. Let's see if we can bend it. Okay, so that works. Yeah, it works. Now when it cools down, do not try to bend it because you will break it. Okay, just like that. I'll go ahead and shape the other 2 leaves and then let my pumpkin sit up overnight. Okay guys, so this is the next day, actually the next night. I went ahead and removed the tape from my pumpkin and everything is really secure. Okay, so back to my leaves. Now I want to add a stem to them. And to make the stem, I'm going to use the casing from this pan. So I'm just going to take this pan apart. And then I'm left with the casing. So what I'm going to do is turn my heat gun on and put a slight bend in the casing. Okay, so just hold this over your heat gun. And I'm pretty sure you could probably do this with a blow dryer too. You don't need a professional heat gun. They do have some that's really cheap. So it's starting to bend. And I guess that's a good enough bend. Okay, so now I'll let this cool down. And once it cools down, I'm going to cut it with my heat knife. So this is going to be the base. And you want to get an idea of how you need to cut your straw. And I see that I think I need to cut it at this angle. Okay, and then you would take your glue and glue your stem onto your leaf. Okay, so what you would do is just take your glue, and I'm going to use the Gorilla Glue. Squeeze some out and put it right around the perimeter. Put it on there just like that. And then let it dry. These I did ahead of time. And these are the 2 larger leaves. And I let the glue set up on these overnight as well. Now as for the pumpkin stem, I have these cups that I picked up from Dollar Tree. These are the little shot cups. And I've already taken one out the pack. And I'll leave this here to show you what that looks like. So I have that option. Of course I'm going to have to use my hot knife to get it to fit perfectly. And I also have this option, these mini cordial glasses from Dollar Tree as well. So I think I like the idea of this one more. So we're gonna go with this one. Before I add my stem and my leaves, I wanna go ahead and add some type of bling on my pumpkin. So let's just figure that out and then move on after that. Okay, so I have some flower bling. I have this bling. I have some mirror tile. Unfortunately, I only had a small amount of my diamond bling left. I do have some that's kind of iridescent, but I don't want my pumpkin to be iridescent. I want it to be just a clear bling. So I'm going to go with the flower bling. And then I'll add some rhinestones to the center of the flower bling. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And then once I cut it, I'm going to burn off the strings that's on the side. And then we're gonna hot glue this on top. I'm gonna go ahead and put some hot glue here. And then I'll put my flower right next to this rhinestone. Hold it there. And then put hot glue on more of my flowers. I'll show you again and do the others off camera. Okay, so I'm done adding my flowers all the way around. Now I want to add one right in the center of here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut them and then burn off the extra string and glue it in place. So I'm going to continue to go all the way around and then I'll come back. Okay, just like that, all the way around. I don't want to add a whole lot of bling because I want this to still be my crystal pumpkin. Maybe I add a flower or two below each one of these, we'll see. And then maybe skip one. Okay, so here's my pumpkin. I want to have like a drip effect. So I have two here and then one and then two, you know, an uneven drip effect, okay? So now I'm going to glue my leaves on. After I glue my leaves in place, I'll go ahead and attach my stem. But let's go ahead and glue our leaves in place. Okay, so now I need to decide where I want to put my leaves. I think I want one here for sure. Put some glue around the outside. And then fill the inside of the hole with some hot glue. And I want the other one probably like maybe here. So I'm going to let this sit for about an hour. Then I'll come back and add my stem. And again, I'm going to add some bling to my stem as well. So I'll do that ahead of time. We'll move on from there. Okay, so I'm going to add a flower right in the top of the stem. And I'm also going to add some of this around it as well. I'm just going to add it around the top because I know I'm going to have to cut out some spaces for my stems that's in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here for now because again I have to make space to fit this in here. So I'm going to let these dry for about an hour and then come back. Okay guys, I'm back and this is the next morning. And as you can see, I went ahead and added some bling to my larger leaf. And I'm going to show you how I did it on this one. I always keep the extra bling that I have left over for projects just like this. I'm only going to show you a couple of different strands. What you do is just take the backing off and then just go with the lines that's already on there and then just cut it like that. And then we'll go to the next line, or this one, probably this one. Now it looks like it might take a long time, but honestly it does not. Just like that. Now I'll go off camera and complete this leaf and then come back. Okay guys, so I'm done adding bling to my smaller leaf. And that's what it looks like. So now I have some rhinestones here that I'm going to glue to the center of my flowers. And of course you want to use hot glue for this. Okay, so I'll continue to do that off camera and then come back. Okay guys, I'm back and I'm done adding the rhinestones to my pumpkin. And as you can see here, I went ahead and added some bling on these designs. But yeah, I made like a V here all the way around. And I just simply took a strip of my diamond bling and put it on there just like so, and lined it up. Okay, and then cut it. Just like that, all the way around. So now I need to take my cup, which is my stem, and put it inside here. But I see where the stems from my leaves are in the way. So I'm going to take my heat burning tool and just cut an opening. But I went ahead and cut this part too. So now it should fit down in there better. Okay, so I'm just going to put some hot glue on the bottom and work my way in. And now I add a little bit more hot glue. Now I'll hold this in place until the hot glue sets. Okay, so I have the stem on, but because of the way I had to glue it on, I need to cover the imperfections. I'm going to use some more of this bling and put it around just like that. And the stem should have more color because it is the stem. I went ahead and cut 2 pieces off. Again, 2 more pieces off. And you want to be careful around your leaves. Okay, so there's my stem. Yeah, so I think I'm done with my pumpkin. It is a crystal pumpkin with a little bit of bling. Okay guys, so you remember I put a hole in the top, and that was to help the fumes from the glue escape so that it wouldn't cloud up my bowls. And I also put the hole in there so I can put my string lights in. Since I want my string lights to touch the top and the bottom of my pumpkin, I'm going to use this container and wrap it around it. So this is going to create a large spiral. If it's not enough light, then I'll use 2 string lights. But yeah, let's go ahead and push this in through the hole. Okay, and then you pull that out. Now you can glue this down right in the back. If you use a taller stem, then you can glue it upward like that as well. Now, when you glue this down, make sure that you leave the screws exposed so that you can change the batteries. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this on display, light it up, and let you guys see what it looks like. And as promised, here's my completed pumpkin. As for the leaves, I trimmed the shape of the leaves with more bling for a more completed look. And here's my pumpkin with the string lights turned on. Now these lights are honestly white. I can never capture the true color. They always look blue on camera. Now as for the bling, I really like the bling on the pumpkin, but honestly I prefer it without any bling. I love the way it looks, completely clear, even the leaves. So it's up to you. You can add the bling or not. So comment below if you would make yours with or without the bling. Okay everyone, this concludes my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay everyone, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.